Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Well, as you guys can see, I got this little RC truck from DEERC here on the table today. This is a 003E and it is a brushless little RC truck. And I would say this is what I would consider an entry-level or beginner's RC truck, but being this brushless, that's pretty cool because typically at this price point you don't see brushless. It's usually brushed because this is around $68 before tax on Amazon. If you use the 30% off coupon along with another 5% code you can clip on the website. But I do have a single-use, one person only 40% off coupon that I am willing to give out. So if you're interested in this truck, I've got that one-time use coupon. So it's first come, first serve. And what I'll do is if you apply and say you in the comments, if you reply and say you want this 40% off coupon, then I will reply to your comment with that code. Now be aware, whoever sees it can use it. So if you do want the 40% off and I reply, you got to get that coupon and use it immediately before somebody else grabs it, because that will lower this down probably, you know, around $60 or so. I haven't done the math. So you can get this really, really cheap using that coupon. So anyway, this is, as I said, a little brushless RC truck. It comes with two cell lithium ion packs. They give you the second one I got here. The other one I got laying right here. And these are, as I said, 2-cell and they're 1500 milliamp hour lithium ions with a Dean's plug on there. You get your typical USB controller and screwdriver in the other bag. And you can see here is the little brushless motor with this cooling cooling fins on here, I should say. You get a 2-in-1 ESC and receiver. So it is a combo. I usually do include those type at this price point. Now, as you can see, just the tires are, you know, there's no foam or nothing in there. Again, you can't really expect it at this price point. But, you know, again, being brushless is a big upgrade at this price. Now, these are just friction shocks. They are not oil filled. As you can see, there's a lot of travel on the rear, but the front is very stiff. So I don't know how much that'll have an effect. Obviously, you could upgrade this really cheap to oil filled if you wanted to. And you also have a wheelie bar, which we'll have to see how much that's needed on 2S. But being brushless, you actually got a chance that you might actually need that. You got a metal dog bones, that's good. And this is all-wheel or 4-wheel drive. And here is what the body looks like on this. So really kind of cool color schemes. I like it a lot. It's unique. And you got your red, blue, and gold for this. And here is your controller, your typical pistol grip. And just by looking at this, this looks like a PX Toys, I believe. You know, a lot of these use these styles. So I'm going to think that this may be some sort of rebranded PX Toys. If you think I'm right or wrong, let me know in the comments, but it sure looks like it to me. So that is, you know, that's good. PX Toys does make good RC, and it wouldn't be the first time that DEERC has rebranded one of those. You got a nice bumper here on the front, and you can see this is a 3-wire steering servo, so it's not one of those 5 wires. Of course, everything is fully proportional, but if you ever wanted to upgrade the receiver or swap stuff out in here, you could retain the steering servo and not have to replace that. So. And again, on this, you just got your typical speed switch, so your speed rate, and then your steering trim for this pretty basic foam wheel, which I always like, so it doesn't slip in your hands. But man, that's not much else to it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get this out, just kind of drive it around in the street mostly, kind of get an idea, kind of just a rough idea on the speed, see how this performs, being that it is brushless. And again, if you want that 40% off coupon, be sure to leave a comment. I'll reply to your comment, and you got to grab that and use that ASAP if you want it before someone else grabs it. But as is, this is around $68. Using that coupon, it'll drop it down another 10%. So you got to figure that's going to drop it down probably closer to $60 before tax, which is a great price for a brushless RC truck. So let's get this truck outside and see how it performs. So I'll be right back. All right, so I got the little DEERC 003 out here. Let's go ahead and see how this little brushless truck does perform. There are a couple white LED lights here in the bumper, which I don't know how well that shows up in the daytime, but I didn't mention that a while ago. So let's go ahead and see how this truck performs. Yeah, that's not too bad. Now, they've rated this at 30 miles per hour. We'll see if it does, but already I can tell you it doesn't look like it's going to be that fast. No, that's not 30 miles an hour. And let me just try to increase the speed switch some more, because if I go all the way up here, now that's definitely faster. But see, it doesn't want to stop. It keeps rolling forward. So that's what I was thinking. It was more of a speed, a speed trim or a throttle trim. But you can see it certainly was faster. Now look, it's starting to go again, and there's no way to really stop that. So I'm going to dial it back a little more. But that actually was definitely affecting the top speed. So that's a bit unfortunate. Yeah, no, that's a lot faster. I don't think that's 30, but that's way better. It is going a little to the right. Got to get it trimmed up. That's definitely over 20 miles an hour. That's not 30. Let's go all the way up on that speed. It was just down a little bit, and see if we can. About the same. Whoa! We hit that little lip there. Yeah, that's not 30, I'm sure, but that's not bad. You can see it wants to kind of continue to go forward a little bit. It's not terrible, but look, I have to give it some reverse just to stop it. And then it's kind of easing forward, so. Yeah, if you want to get top speed, you got to go all the way up, but you just have to make to see if you get one of these where yours wanting to continue to creep forward. I'd say it's probably somewhere in the 20 to 25 maybe. But yeah, like I said, it just creeps forward a little bit on me. You can back that off a little, and it doesn't seem to make a difference on the speed, and it does make it do that less. But when I bring the speed rate down, it stops doing this. But then you saw how slow it was at the beginning. That's why I thought we had an actual throttle trim. Let's see how it does here. I see it's still going, so. Yeah, it flies right through right through the grass, like you'd expect. But yeah, that's, they need a dual rate for the steering and a steering trim. Excuse me, a dual rate for the throttle and a throttle trim as well. See, it's still wanting to go forward on me. So really, this is more of a dual rate on the speed like I originally thought it was. That really shouldn't make a difference on it stopping doing this. Or it just wants to ease forward. And it's not like you can't program this ESC on your own, but it could be possible that the ESC just needs a slight tweak, and yours may not do this. I don't know. It's not like this is terrible or anything, but it shouldn't, it shouldn't do this. And like I said, if I take this down some, now it's, let's see, does it stop doing it now? Let's try it again. Now it's still kind of doing it. And then by the point I get in the middle, yeah, it's still doing it. So it doesn't seem like it really matters. It still wants to creep forward on me. And that made a huge difference in the speed, so yeah. I'll definitely let my DEERC rep know that. I mean, if you take a chance on this car and you want, for $60, if yours does this and annoys you, you can easily return it. So it's not like you're taking a big risk being from Amazon, but there is a chance that it's just something a little bit off with my ESC. But for the most part, this is not really affecting my ability to use it, because it isn't going quick. It's just creeping forward. But if you needed this car to stop on a dime and you were about to drive it into a lake or something, that wouldn't be good, because it's, it may continue to creep forward. Now right now, see there it did it. I thought it was going to stop. Oh, nice. That was a nice jump. It works pretty good. It's got good power. what you expect on brushless. And I gotta say the friction shocks are doing just fine. It's not like it's super bouncy. Like I said, the rear has a lot of, the rear shocks have a lot more travel and are bouncier, but the front are very stiff. But maybe that was by design. I think a lot of that is just the travel. Again, I think this might be a PX Toys. And PX Toys have always been pretty good. You know, they were kind of my top 3 like Chinese budget RC with HBX and Zenlahong. Again, this may not be, but it sure looks like this controller reminds me of those. But yeah, just this creeping forward is a little bit unfortunate. But I'll let my DRC rep know that and see, they make sure they're on the lookout and see if anybody else has reports of this. Because I feel like this could just be a little bit of an ESC issue with my car. If I bought, you know, again, they were kind enough to send us out review. If I bought this, I would just return it and exchange it and see if I have another one that does it. Probably good chance that another one won't do this. But it's certainly not prohibiting me from being able to review it. But yeah, it moves along really well. And overall, as long as the ESC doesn't do this or the receiver, whatever, you know, if it's given, it could also be a receiver issue where it's giving it just a little bit of throttle, signal. So that's also what it could be. But then again, that's an ESC receiver combo. So. Yeah, I mean this. Otherwise, I mean it. I wouldn't even probably mess with oil-filled shocks on this because I don't think it's going to make much of a difference. It seems to be just fine on these friction. So, you know, as much as we harp about oil-filled, it's not always going to make a big difference depending on the vehicle and, you know, just all the design of the car and everything. And with this one, it probably wouldn't even be worth messing with. It's just a matter of, you know, getting a car that actually doesn't want to continue to creep forward, which, again, that could be anything. That could also just be something downright to something with the throttle position here on this pistol grip controller. I mean, that could also be what's doing it too. It might be wanting to stick. It doesn't feel like it, but it could be just giving it slight throttle inputs because when I give it reverse, it'll stop. And that kind of suggests that I might be pulling it off of the input. So it may just be this controller. And if that's the case, then I can say with 100% certainty just about if you bought one of these, yours probably won't do that. So I feel like the more I'm thinking about it, the more I'm thinking it may just be the controller. So otherwise it handles really, really well. And it's got really good power. So this might be something as well where I could try to open this controller, take these screws out, and look in there and see it may be something that might be able to be slightly adjusted with a little ingenuity, and it might be able to be fixed. But again, if you bought this and yours did this, just return it and get a replacement. Because again, I think the more I'm thinking about it, I think it's this controller. I was initially thinking it might be the ESC, but the fact that it does it whenever I turn the speed dual rate, no matter where it is on the dial, it's still doing it. That tells me it's still getting an input, which makes you think it's the controller or possibly the receiver, but I think it's the controller. All right, guys, that's kind of getting repetitive. I just want to show you guys what this can do. Also, that I think it's not 30 miles an hour, but it's probably somewhere in that 20 to 25. And that was with the speed rate all the way up. As you saw in the beginning, it was very slow. That's because I thought that this might be a speed throttle trim, and I thought that was stopping it from creeping forward, but it actually was not doing that. So again, if you're interested in this, I would certainly take a chance on it because it's $68. That's really cheap for brushless. So the odds yours is going to do what mine's doing, I think, is really low. And if it does, it's simple enough to return to Amazon. It's not like it's a hassle or anything. And if you're interested in this and you really, really want it, drop a comment down there. Say, can I have that 40% off coupon? Because it's good for one person, one use. So whoever sees it, uses it, gets it. So I'm not going to put it out there yet. I'm going to reply if somebody asks for it in the comments. And then, of course, you need to use it as soon as you see it. Otherwise, someone else can grab it and they can use it. Just a one-time thing that DEERC did for me, which I really appreciate. All right, guys, so if you're new to the channel and you like videos like this and you like RC cars, drones, boats, and be sure to subscribe. By right, click the bell, that way you're notified when I do upload new videos. And as always, guys, have an awesome day.
The power of the dark side.